Okay, let me just make sure this is okay. Nice, nice. Can you guys see my screen on Discord? The chart. I mean, this chart. I'm gonna show you guys later, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so for new members, and I know for the people that are in here, you guys are not really that new, but I'm just gonna go over it just for the sake of the new members, because we get a lot of questions on how our Discord works. Where is everything? Not seeing some things when it's notified. So I'm gonna go over that real quick before we get into um, the main gist of things. So, we start from the welcome page. This is, or I'm sorry, the welcomes, section. Rules are rules. Um, you know, no harassment. Obviously, linking things that might hurt people. Definitely, don't do. It's pretty self-explanatory. You guys can check the rules out yourself. I'm not going to run through the whole thing. This is not like a syllabus class. Welcomes page, not important. Where to start? This is for people who just join. Gives an explanation of how our Discord server works, what each channel is here for. Um, you know, so this is a place where it's a good guide to have, so you're not getting confused. Announcements is where we post important announcements. Reminders of if the market's closing early, giveaways, class times, etc. And speaking of announcements, I'm gonna go over my rules, and I'm gonna go over Elkin's just so if some people didn't see it or hear it. So for my alerts for 2021,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't know. You're sharing your Thinker Stream screen, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you, Elkin. Okay. Can you guys see now? That's probably better. Okay, yeah. Um, so for my alerts, that's in the announcements page. So we're starting a $5,000 account challenge. So for this challenge, I am using only $5,000. We only made one alert so far, and that was a Netflix butterfly. And we'll obviously we'll go over those. And each alert that has to do with the challenge, I will label it. Oh, you know what? No, we made it a $5,000 account challenge channel, so it'll be in that channel. But I will tell you the amount of contracts um, for this challenge. Now, for my regular alerts, I usually hold 7 contracts. That's just me. Do not be like me unless you have the account size. If you have a $2,000 account, do not buy 7 contracts. No matter how confident I feel about this play, it doesn't matter. Um, you know, Only pay for the amount that you're willing to risk. Um, and another thing I'm trying to do is less high risk, more plays alerts. We did well with that channel last year, really well, but I don't want people to enter every single play. I will post plays there, um, but it's not going to be as many. I want to be way more, um, consistent. With the alerts. I don't want to have too many. I want quality over quantity. You know, um, and for my alerts, always look for 20 to 30% profit per contract. That's my first target. Obviously, I am monitoring them consistently if I am in. If they are long swings, I'm not going to be staring at it, but I will be looking for a 30% return on that first contract or a couple contracts, and let the rest run. Okay, so when I sell some contracts from my alerts, it doesn't necessarily mean that I think that, like, if I'm playing calls, if I sell my first 3 contracts, it doesn't necessarily mean that the stock is going to go down. Okay, it's just for me to lock in some profits to get the capital back. Okay, and I know it's the same, you know, most of the time for Elkin, right? He wants to secure capital, right? He wants to get that cash, and let's see what we can get out of the other contracts. Okay, um, but sometimes, we will sell most of them because, hey, there could be some news there coming out, either with that stock or whatever the case may be, and we want to just completely get out. But, just because we sell all, half of them or 3 of them out of the 7 contracts doesn't necessarily mean the stock is going to go, the opposite way of our contract. So again, you can always hold your contract when I sell, but, just be careful. And again, consistent, profitable trades, not more trades. I will alert when I have a play. If I don't have an alert, that means I don't like any of the setups. Okay, there could be days where I don't even make one alert. I think today I made one. So I know everyone's looking for plays. I know everyone wants to get in things. But for me, I would rather be 100% confident in my trades. And again, some of them don't work out, right? But that happens. I want to be consistent. So I want that perfect setup to before I enter a trade. Another thing is, I will always alert when I sell, but please do not wait for me. Okay? I will always alert. I know I get a lot of messages asking me, "Hey, are you selling? Hey, when are you selling?" It will always be alerted. Now, with that being said, let's say I don't have a stop loss on one of the contracts, one of the alerts, and it's down 30%. You have to realize how much you're willing to risk. Okay? With my account, I have the ability to risk a lot more. Okay? Now, this is different from 5,000 account challenge. We're going to be very conservative on that challenge, right? We're not going to, risk more than 30% on each alert. Okay? But as a regular alert, risk what you're willing to lose. Okay? What you're willing to lose. But yeah, do not message me asking, "Am I selling?" or "Did you sell?" I will always alert it. Always. I will never have an alert that's in the dark. And I will never sell a contract without telling you guys. Okay. That won't happen. And then yeah, last thing, don't ask me for more plays. Please, do not ask for more plays. The plays will come. So those are my rules. Elkin, did you go over your rules yesterday, or should we quickly go over them? Oh wait, maybe his mic is not working, but Elkin's alerts. Key levels are posted every morning with possible entries. If the premium moves too fast, you must likely ignore the levels. Don't pay 10% more of the premium suggested, and do not chase these alerts. All alerts are scalps unless I label them different. Always set a stop loss with the maximum amount you're willing to lose. If you see nice profits, take them. Don't wait for me to alert to sell. Premiums move fast. If you can't fill the same premium, move on quickly and try a different one. And always do limit orders between the bid and the ask. Never do market orders. I still see people do market orders, and I have no idea why you guys do it. Never do market orders. Again, do not DM about an alert unless it's urgent. Avoid questions such as holding, cut, should I hold? I will always let you know my stop and alert when I sell. Never swing contracts with the same week expiration unless you're willing to lose 100%. I will always buy multiple contracts and trim profits along the way. These are just like mine. Practice risk management, be smart. Always looking for setups and trades. Yeah, and this is important too. The first 2 hours of the market is the worst time to ask a lot of questions for us. We see your questions. We're not ignoring them. But with the market moving super fast, we have to make sure everything's set up. We're managing some positions, some swings, so it'll be kind of tough to answer, some key level questions. And remember, you guys always have Shane or Borax. He just changed his username. He's always here. You can always ask him. You don't need to just ask me. You don't need to just ask Elkin. You have Sid, Shane. Please ask them too. And after taking profits, set a stop at even or for a tiny loss on the remaining contracts. Never turn green to red. Be patient and have fun. So with that being said, we have a disclaimer. You guys can read that on your own. That's just for legal reasons. Meet the staff. Just what we do, what we've done, who we are. Invite link. This is just for you guys. If you want to refer someone. If you know anyone who's interested in joining, you just type in $refer this referral link. You send that to your friend or family or whoever you're sending it to, and you get 15% back on your membership. Suggestions: if you guys want to change something, add something, let us know. What we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Any suggestions you guys have, let us know. We're always open to them. We're always open to improving the server. Merchandise, we have some, shirts, long sleeves. Shane and I are on the works for hats. Just got to figure out inventory and all that good stuff. Social media, this is all our social media links. You guys can hit the like, subscribe, whatever. Color rules, this is just for you guys to change the color of your roll. These are my alerts, my alert channel. They're always tagged. So whenever I post an alert, there should be like a number next to it. Depending on how long you haven't clicked my channel, the number will change. But whenever an alert is made, there will be a notification because everything is tagged owls. Same with Elkin. Elkin's alerts are here. Kindred. So for some people who don't know Kindred actually works for other servers. He is a real person. It's just that the bot, that he has, it's easy for him to send out alerts to multiple servers. So this is why his alert section looks a little different. Chase, he's a scalper. But this is his alert channel. His might be a little different because he can't tag owls, or he'll sometimes tag everyone. But for example, his alert, BA 215 strike calls over 214.70. So, if you want to play with Chase's alerts, you would probably have your chart open. If BA goes above 214.70, you'd enter the 215 strike and do quick scalps. So that's how his alerts work. Margin trades, obviously we're going to go over this, but this is the margin channel, works the same. These all work the same. So, we'll always tag you guys. You should always get a notification here. Yeah, they're all the same. And another thing about small account challenge. So small account challenge, we do our best to find as many cheap contract plays. We've been successful, but with cheap premiums, as we covered in the Greeks, low delta, right? And low delta plays are not that profitable unless we get big moves. Okay, but these stocks that we play barely move. They have an unexpected move of $1 or $2. But if we find a stock that has unusual option activity and the chart looks pretty decent, then yeah, we'll find a cheap contract for you guys to play. But it's not really based on technical analysis. It's more unusual option activity. There's so many buyers in this specific contract. Someone might know something. it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But then again, just don't go too heavy on these. Obviously we would like to have those CLDR plays or that Dropbox play that went crazy. Obviously those are good. But then again, don't go too heavy on these. Long swings, these are just long holds. Some are leaps, some are 6 months contracts out. Just longer expiration. High risk, more plays. I don't know why it's there. Just higher risk. The setups I'm looking at or Elkin's looking at could go either way. But we're betting, on the long side or short side. They're higher probability, but they're still more risky. But they've been, we've been doing really well on the higher risk. But we're trying to slow that down. We don't want people to, always get into these higher risk plays. Common stock, I'm always looking for, just regular stocks to buy. If people don't want to play options, you can just buy the stock. I look at scanners, with 40% more volume than usual with stocks under, usually I think $45 I have. So I'll get some notifications. I'll check the chart out, and I'll start, small positions. I mean, this is not a small position, but at the time I had, the ability to buy that many shares. But usually, there's small positions like 50 shares, 100 shares of these type of stocks. Like Watt was $1.76. But yeah, we're always looking for common stock trades as well. They might not be as often just because we're so focused on options. But if something comes to my stock scanner, we will enter it. So obviously premium out chat, it's just our regular chat. Nothing new there. SPY thoughts. This is all information, all talk about SPY. Team is really good with analyzing SPX and SPY, so that's his forte. But yeah, if you have any questions about SPY, put it in there. You can always put in a regular chat as well. It's not a big deal. But the SPY channel kind of keeps it organized. Watchlist. These are the stocks that we look at, or we're mainly focused on for the next day. We're obviously looking at, me personally, I'm probably looking at 35 charts every day, but these are my main focus throughout the day, or the next day, I should say. So, these are, we just post these, the night before. Yeah, that's, just easy watch list. Key levels, Elkin will, post key levels for certain stocks pre-market. These levels are for you guys. If we don't have a chance to, look at, let's say BABA, the levels are there. So, you will go long above 237 and short below 233. So these are there for you guys. These are, key levels, right? So if they hit these levels, you have a great chance of, playing the long or short depending on where the stock is at. It's just because we can't, put out alerts on these type of stocks all of a sudden, at the same time. They're just there for you guys to have. Al's watch list is for you guys. What are you guys looking at? We can always take a look, who that posts his, charts, what he's looking at. You guys post articles. Basically, it's just for you guys, what are you guys watching? Al profits, post your profits. Coffee break, anything except stocks or options, whatever. This is just for you guys to talk about anything. End of the day poll, how did you guys do? Introduce yourself. If you guys want, you don't have to. Who are you, right? What do you guys do, on your off time, whatever. Al's gaming, whoever likes, video games. We just added this today, but it seems like a lot of people have interest in it. If you guys play games, go ahead. Long-term investments. We add stocks that we really like for a long-term portfolio. Yeah, I go through, analysis, news. I read up a lot on, that certain stock, watch videos, chatter about the certain stock, and I will buy it myself. I don't just say I'm going to buying ICPT, but I don't actually buy it. Like if I post it in long-term investment, it will be in my portfolio. Okay, so it's here. Um, so I like these in my long-term portfolio. These are not short-term trades. This is not the common stock channel. This is long-term. Al's tip of the day, where we post tips. If we, if we get, a certain amount of questions or about one certain thing, we'll post in here, or whatever we think that might help the members, we'll post in here. Tip of the day. Chart requested, post as charts that you guys request. They're all here. Option sweeps, unusual option activity, what people are buying, what people are selling. This is, a bot that runs information from Blackbox, our option flow software. So if you guys want, this is not a place to, just go here and, play an alert just because it showed that there's SPY calls coming, 376 strike, March 19th, 2021, right? Don't just enter this play. These are just unusual option activity. Earnings report. This is where, we post the earnings for the upcoming week. Breaking news. These are just, breaking news from certain sources that might help you or the stock that you're holding. Market outlook is where I write up a whole analysis for the market the following, the upcoming week. I do some research, write up some information of what we're supposed to look at, what's going on in the economy, some statistics. I think this is very helpful for people to, have a good insight of what might be happening, in the next week or two or the next month. And then I post the key levels for the major indices. And then crypto, we have a crypto channel for anyone who's interested in crypto. You guys can post whatever you want about crypto. Obviously, live trading, voice chat, scalping. I guess we've just been staying in the scalping channel, but scalping is when Alkin does his scalps. You guys are always welcome to hop in and listen to his trade and what he's getting into. Member support is anything that you need, as far as payments, setting up TOS or whatever the case may be. Questions, you post your questions. Basics, we have some information about basics of stocks and options. These are scanners that you guys can download for TOS. There's tons of them. TD Ameritrade sign up. This is exactly how to sign up for a cash account on TD Ameritrade. So if you just follow these steps, you will have a cash account on TOS. Sometimes your margins will be enabled for the people who don't want margins. You're going to contact support right away and tell them, I would like to make sure that margin is off, option trading is enabled, and that I am on a cash account. So for people who don't want margin, this is exactly what you tell them and they will take it off for you. Stock AI, we got, this AI things that, if you type in iFlow, for example, SPY, it will show the most, recent data for SPY. So this is very similar to the option sweeps channel. Same thing, you can do any stock. And you can actually do charts as well. I just have to pull up the codes for that. Videos is, videos that help your trading strategies, important events. Actually, not important events. More, let's say how to set a stop from on Robinhood. I even posted a video, music for trading. What type of music I listen to when I trade. Whatever that might help your trading strategy or trading in general. You can post on videos. Class recap is where we post our previous classes. You can always check it out on YouTube or YouTube. Books is books that we recommend to read. We got tons of them that we've read. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Upgrade doesn't matter. This is where you can you can downgrade. You just type in downgrade if you don't want to be a part of the team anymore, or you can upgrade. Free member chat obviously is for free members. Testimonials, if you guys really love us, if you guys are really enjoying your experience, feel free to write up a testimonial. No pressure to do it. We don't care if you don't do it. We just want to make sure that you know, you guys are having a good time making money. Scammers, if you guys don't even have to post in this one either. It's just there. If there's any scammers, we'll just put them in here so we know who to ban. And then this is all irrelevant. And with that being said, let's get into margins. You guys have any questions so far? Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so with my margin trades, what's going on? Okay, we're good. Margin trades. So if we go to the margin trades channel, I see that we've done, a good amount of margin trades. So why do I do margin trades instead of naked calls and puts? So I'm going to go with an example of Tesla, because I think Tesla is a good example. So let's say I wanted to play, I'm bullish on Tesla, okay, and I wanted to play a call, okay. Now if I played a naked call for, let's say, January 15th, okay, so let's go to Tesla and let's find January 15th. Let's say let's do 770 call. So right now, a 770 call is going to cost you $2,000. Okay, and this is just a naked call, right? So right now Tesla closed at 755.98. Right now it's at 763. Okay, so that's close to, in the money. Now that's very expensive. So I'm not going to alert in my channel a Tesla 770 call for January 15th. Okay, because it's very expensive. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create this into a spread. Okay, and how do I do that? And why do I do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a 760 call. I'm going to buy a 760 call. And this is what's good about TOS. Okay, TOS, you can easily set it up without, buying the call and then selling the call separately. You can type or click single, which means naked call or put, vertical, which is exactly what we're going to do. So it makes it very easy to set it up. Now, you see how cheap it is to be bullish on Tesla on a call for January 15th, 2021, right? But this is cheap because the spread is very close. So with vertical calls or puts, the shorter the spread, the cheaper it is, but you're not going to make as much money, right? Your profits are capped because the amount that the premium that's going to be sold outweighs the contract that you bought. Okay? Now, let's say if I did a 760 and a 780, I am buying the 760, I am selling the 780. Okay? Now it's more expensive. It's $8, right? We wanted to play that 760 call naked. That was $2,000. So I can still play a Tesla call, but I would change it to a vertical so it limits my cost, right? And it limits my risk. I'm not spending as much. I'm not risking as much, but I'm also limiting profits, right? It's not an exponential amount of profit, okay? So you're buying a call and you're selling a call. And generally, the stock will be at or above the first strike and below the second strike, okay? And they always have the same expiration month, okay? It's always going to be the same, okay? Now, you're obviously using a long vertical call when you're bullish. You have an upside target. Okay, so if you can go as high as you want. Actually, it's going to be, oh, it's like this is going to be, the premium is going to be changed tomorrow. But, for example, the wider your spread gets, the more expensive it gets. The shorter it gets, you see how it's only a 10 point spread, the cheaper it gets, okay? Because you have to stay in between those two strikes, right? So you want the stock to be at or above strike B, right? This is B. I call this B, A and B, okay? But you don't want it to go so far, right, from the underlying, okay? But then again, you're still paying less of the premium, okay? So how do you calculate? So let's say this. This is how you calculate if you're doing it manually. You're buying, if we were just buying the 760 call. Okay, I'm going to buy a 760 call. It's going to cost me $24.80. Okay, so $24.80. Now we're going to sell the 780. So let's say if someone was, figuring out a vertical call. Okay, and they're doing it manually. To calculate the premium, how much you're going to pay, you're going to subtract 2480 minus 1665, and that is the premium you're going to pay for that contract. Okay? When you play verticals, and I know people kind of get scared when playing verticals, right? Or I'm sorry, margins. They have this fear of, there's so much risk, you're going to lose a lot of money if it doesn't go your way. When you're playing a vertical, the amount you pay is your max risk. So if I'm paying total for a 760, 780 call, this is my max risk. I'm risking $800 for this play. Okay. Now, if I hold this contract until expiration, okay, and it's in the money, right, I will get exercised. And that is where it gets scary. Okay. So the risk is limited to the net debit paid, how much you paid for this contract. And it works the same as the puts. If you want to do a vertical put, but it's the opposite, right? So you want to do a 760 and you go lower. You lower the strike price, okay? Because you have a downside target. You don't want the stock to go higher, but it works the same. Again, the higher the spread, the more expensive it's going to be because you have a higher chance of pinning that strike in between the two strikes that you bought. Okay, so those are vertical spreads, either calls or puts. Okay, and honestly, there's really it's just like buying a naked call or put, right? So if I'm bullish on Tesla, let's just say I'm bullish on Tesla. The chart looks good. TTM fired long, above the 8, holding very strongly above the 8. And I want to get in. But I don't want to pay $2,000 for one contract. I would rather get a couple vertical calls if I'm bullish, spend less, risk less, and still be bullish on the stock. And I will still make a good amount of money. Right? But there is a cap. Once you're over the second leg, you're at max profit, right? And the good thing about verticals is that theta basically is much less, obviously. It cancels out. Okay, the theta is very low. So this is why I play verticals. You're just selling, you're buying a premium and you're selling a premium. Okay. Anyone have questions so far? No? Okay. All right. So again, it's not, how the stock moves, right? It's not, I need, if I'm bullish on a stock or if I'm bearish on a stock and the premiums are very expensive, I will play a vertical to cut my cost. And again, however much you pay is how much you can lose. You know, if the debit is 800, if you buy the contract for $800, $800 is your max loss. Okay, $800 is your max loss. And one thing, to actually, if anyone want to, create a margin account for TD Ameritrade, it's a minimum of $3,000 to apply for margins. And obviously, if you only have, let's say, if you have less than 25,000, you're gonna get hit with that pattern day trading rule. But with margins, we usually swing them. I usually swing them. But if you have 25,000 or more, you can do as many trades as you want during that day, and the funds get cleared right away. But TD Ameritrade is very, they're very lenient. Once you have that 3K in your account, they will sign you up very quickly. Now, butterflies are a little different. Okay, a butterfly is a long call spread and a short call spread. Now, when I say short, it means we're selling the premium. Okay, so the butterfly, if we're doing a long butterfly, okay, with calls, we are buying a call, then we're selling 2 calls, and then we're buying another call. Okay, now max profits for butterflies is if the stock is in between the first leg and the third leg. Okay, so let's get an example here. So if we go margin trades, and okay, so last week, I believe, we played a 675. Okay, it's actually not going to show here because it's in December. 675, 700, 720 butterfly call. Okay, actually, this is a great example. So 675, 700, 720 butterfly call. So let's do this. And we bought it at 375 premium. It's crazy how Tesla's already moved this much. God. Okay. So that's right? Yep. Okay. So basically, to get max profits, well, actually, I'm very sorry. This is a broken butterfly, but you have to. This is completely different. A regular butterfly is the widths are the same amount. Okay. Between the first leg and the third leg. So you want the stock price to be exactly at the middle strike price for a regular butterfly. This one was a broken butterfly. This one is where the strike prices are not equidistant. When you have equidistant strike prices, that is where you want the stock to pin in the middle between the first leg and the third leg. Okay, this one, there is no upside risk. So what I mean by that is, for example, this one, Tesla is above the 720. Okay, the fact that these strikes are not equidistant means that there's no upside target. So even if Tesla, now it did, Tesla went above the 720 call. Okay, if this was a regular butterfly, I would lose money on this trade because it went past the third leg. Okay, but since this is a broken wing butterfly where the strike prices are not equidistant, there is no upside risk, right? So if it was a 675, 680, 685, we want Tesla to be at 675, or I'm sorry, 680 at close to expiration. That is where we will get max profit because the legs are equidistant from each other. Okay, and why do we do this? for regular butterflies, when you have volatile stocks, right, in a range, okay, where they're kind of trading in a range, Tesla is Tesla is crazy. You're going to see, we're going to have our supports, if it lets me, resistance. And so basically, you want your butterfly to stay in the range to get max profits. Okay, you want it to stay, if you're in a balanced butterfly, a regular butterfly, you want the stock to stay in this range. Okay, because you want it to pin right in the middle. And it's the same thing as verticals. It cuts your cost. It cuts your risk. Okay, because you're buying a call, and if you're going long, and you're selling two calls, so you're selling two premiums, right? And you're buying another call. Okay. Now, butterflies are not the best for Tesla because regular butterflies is basically for stocks with very little movement in a specific time frame, right? These are like the best stocks to play butterflies. I mean, Z before it rocketed. Z was great. Okay, see now it made a huge move, but Z kind of stays in this range. Okay, so Z is a good stock to play butterflies, right? Because there's not too much movement. Okay, and to be honest with you, a stock like 2 weeks ago or even last week, Nvidia was a good stock to play, right? In a balanced butterfly, because for most likely you will be in that range. There was not much movement. Okay, so the sweet spot of this butterfly, a balanced butterfly, is that you wanted to be in that second strike. Okay, that second strike. But your potential profit again is obviously limited to the middle strike, right? Minus the first strike. Okay. You subtract the premium of the middle strike with the premium of the first strike and how much you paid for that contract. Okay, obviously you don't have to calculate that because actually Thinkorswim will give you a chart that you can analyze your trade. Actually, it's in risk profile. So once you have the trade, it will show you exactly how much you can make from this butterfly and the probability, which is really cool. And then max potential loss. Again, it's the same thing. If I paid $3.50, for the butterfly, that's how much I will lose on that trade if it goes to zero. Okay, so if on a balanced butterfly, if my third leg is at 720 and Tesla goes over 750, that butterfly will be worthless, right? And butterflies do not work on earnings, right? Earnings plays, where you see big movements, unless you want to have wider legs, okay? But you're going to spend more money because now you have an easier chance of that stock to be in that range, okay? Again, the goal is to be pinned right in between the first leg and the third leg, okay? Any questions so far? No questions? Everyone gets it?
All good.
All good? All right. Let's see. We can go over iron condors. Iron condors, I don't really do. Yeah. I can. Yeah, I will answer that. Iron condors is actually really good because you want the stock. So iron condors, there's four legs. There's four strike prices. Okay. You're buying a put on the first strike. Okay. You're selling a put on the second strike. You're selling a call on the third strike. You're buying a call on the fourth strike. Okay. To make max profits, you want that strike to be between the second strike and the third strike. So this also works for stocks that don't really move. Okay, it's wider, right? So you want that stock to be, in that zone of the second and third strike. Um, I don't really play this often. And another reminder that the options, the strikes, are all in the same expiration date. You achieve the max profit again if at the end of the expiration, or you can even you can sell it whenever you want. If the strike is in between the second strike and third strike, that is max profit. Okay, technically, because actually to secure the max profit, you actually have to wait until the market closes. Now, this is for people who want to exercise the contract. You have to wait until market closes. Your broker will actually give you that max profit, literally the max of what you receive on top of exercising that contract. But again, if you close it a minute before market closes and the stock is between the second and third strike, you're technically in the max profit range. Maximum potential loss is how much you paid. You have to close it before market closes. To be honest with you, with margins, I never leave it open, even if it's a loss. Even if the trade is showing that I'm down 98%, I literally do my best to just close it out just in case anything happens. But if it's a loss, nothing, it will just expire worthless. I just like to get rid of um, my contract just in case any glitch happens and you see negative 30,000 on your account because it exercises the stock of Netflix or something. Yes, yeah, it's generally safe. It's it's not. It gets a little scary when you're selling premiums. You never know what could happen. But yeah, iron condors are really good for stocks that don't move, stocks that don't really move. And I mean, and constructing the strike prices is honestly what you're comfortable with. There's no right strike, right? It's the same thing. It's how much you're willing to risk. So you're gonna adjust it yourself. I just pick the strikes not because I think I'll look at the charts, right? And I can recognize the pattern of, okay, I mean, Nvidia has been trading in this range, right? It's been, the 550s. Although this is on the daily. So if I want to, I'll go in the 4 hour for, I guess Nvidia is not a good example, but, um, the 534s as a, resistance here, support at 528. You got support at 516 and 510. So this will be kind of my range. So I would like to see Nvidia in between this range or whatever my two strikes are going to be. And as you're constructing it, it's very easy. Obviously, with TOS, you can just right click it, Iron Condor, and it will give you options. And you can always adjust it yourself. You always adjust it yourself. That's what I love about TOS. It's very simple. You can find the strikes that you want. Depending on how much you want to pay. You want to pay a little less. You want to pay a little more. Just the main goal is to be in between these two. But yeah, Iron Condors. I don't think I've ever even made an alert on Iron Condor. But it's a great strategy to use for slow moving stocks. And last thing, time decay is your friend on this one. Basically, you want the four options to go worthless. As you're selling those two premiums, you want it to go worthless. So time decay is your friend on these. Questions, concerns? I like to have time on these two. So like, obviously I like time on everything. Ideally, these iron condors are, they're mainly for 30 days minimum. Because if a stock usually trades in the range for 30 days, these are good. Or if you're playing, I think I discussed this since you want the stock to stay in the middle of the strikes on both the butterfly and iron condor, what's the advantage of the butterfly? I mean, why would one choose a butterfly over the condor? So the iron condor, actually the theta is more important. Theta is your friend on iron condors. A butterfly, it just depends if you're playing a balanced butterfly or an imbalanced butterfly. So if you're playing an imbalanced butterfly, you have no upside risk, right? If you're playing a balanced butterfly, you have upside risk because you needed a pin at that middle strike, right? But with iron condor, that stock has to be in between two strikes, so you have a little wider range. Okay, so your chances of being in that range is much higher for the iron condor than that butterfly. Yep, yep, exactly. Because in iron condors, you're selling two premiums, and butterflies, you're only selling one premium. Exactly. These are good. These are great questions. Yep, these are great questions. You have any other questions about anything? We don't have to just do margin. We can do everything. C, any questions you have on the top of your head? EMAs? We can do EMAs. Yeah, of course we can do EMAs. So EMAs, what do I use it for? EMAs you can use as support and resistances. Okay, and the EMAs I use is the 8 EMA, 21 EMA, and the 200 EMA. Okay, so let's look at NVIDIA. Or actually, you know what? Let's look at SPX. This is good. The 8 EMA is a good way to show if we're still in a bullish market or in a bearish market, and the 21 EMA. Okay. If the 8 EMA crosses the 21, we are bullish. Okay. As you can see here, the 8 crosses the 21 on the daily. Okay. The squeeze is turning to the upside. Okay. So I am very confident here. So if this is November 5th, and let's say there was a tiny sell-off, I would say, nope, we're good. The 8 has crossed the 21. We are now in a bullish market. Okay. And as you can see, it is still riding above the 8 EMA this whole time. So remember when we had these little sell-offs, right? Everyone was like, oh my God, are we in a correction? Are we tanking? Are we, is this the beginning of another, March? Nope. You know why? Because look, we're still hovering over the 8. Now, if we break above the 8, or I'm sorry, if we break below the 8, my next support is going to be my 21. Okay, so I am still long, right? If you have long contracts, you don't really get nervous. Okay, you get a little more tactical. You get a little more, strategic, right? You don't go crazy with calls and be more bullish. If it breaks the 8. Okay, if we're still holding above the 21, we are still good. We are still fine, right? It has tested. Okay, it has tested here, right? When was it? 1-4. Remember, this was Monday, right? We tested it. Okay. So the 8 EMA, So look, right now we're still above it, right? We we still tested the 21, but we're still riding above the 8 EMA until we break both. Until the 21 crosses the 8, that is when I will start to get worried about the market. Okay, that is exactly when I'll get worried. Okay, now with this market, 21 or the 200 moving average is not even in play right now. But if we go back to the virus, right? You see how we broke the 200. Now it found support here, okay? It held support here at the time. We tested it. We tested the 200, but it got rejected. And what happened when we got rejected from 200? We completely tanked. Okay? Now this is why I say if you're looking at stocks to buy, okay, or options to buy, and if they are below the 200 moving average, I would highly recommend for you to not get it. Okay? Always wait until it goes above the 200 moving average. So for example, we are still riding below the 200. Okay, we were at this time we were below the 200. We're still below the 8. Okay? But at this time we're testing the 8. We're testing the 8. Okay? We break the 8, so we're bringing up a little momentum, right? We're riding it above. The 8 crosses the 21, and this is where we start becoming more bullish. Okay? So for example, we've tested multiple times. The 21 crosses the 8, we drop down. The 8 crosses the 21, we go up. It's done it multiple times. So whenever the 8 crosses the 21, we're bullish. Whenever the 21 crosses the 8, we're bearish. Okay? So let's go to give me a stock, any stock, except Tesla.
Hey, one question.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's below the 200, you're not worried about it when it's in a reversal.
If it's below the 200, and even if it's a reversal, there's still that risk of that stock not being able to come back yet.
So
right?
You're not super confident in it. So you're putting in smaller contracts. You're putting in possible
small
just
position
1 or 2 here,
yep.
there.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Now, if the chart looks like it might be coming up back a bit and it's below the 200, I'm not gonna be putting a full position in. I'll start light. And if the chart is showing me that it has crossed the 200, then okay, now let's see if it can find, a new support for this 200 line, right? Then I'll start.
And then as far as picking up equity, it would be
exactly
after it crossed.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
How do I access those EMA on TOS? So what you do, you go to Studies, go to Edit Studies, and let's just pretend none of these are here. You would type MOV AVG exponential.
Your pop-up's not showing.
Oh, is it not showing? Let me see.
Not for me.
Okay, yeah, probably not for anyone else then. Oh wait, right here. Can you see it now?
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's do this. Let's remove all. So you click Studies in the top right tab. I know you guys can see it. I just want to switch screens every second. Studies on the top right tab. This will pop up. You're going to type move average exponential. Okay. You click it 3 times, right? For me, yeah, there we go. For me, it's 8. I like to do the width 2. I like blue for 8. I like 21 as yellow just because it's just easy for my eyes and easy to remember.
And that additional pop-up's not showing up for that either.
Yeah, I'm just type unless you guys want me to watch me.
No worries.
Click the numbers, and then the 200 as red. Let me change my screen again. You click Studies. The pop-up will come out. Click Edit Studies. You just type in MOV average, exponential, just what Elkin just posted. But yeah,
Does everybody know how to save that too?
yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let me do this then.
Because you can actually save studies specifically for working just with,
Yep.
with Kian and Elkin,
So
and then have your own personal studies if you want something different.
exactly. So if I want Ttm Squeeze, if I want custom volume, that's it. So I'll click apply. Okay. I don't know why. Oh. Okay. Thank you for not showing up. But anyway, you click apply. You click save set as or as set. Let's just type in class. Click OK. Wait. Why did my screen just went blank? Sorry
You run
about
the pop-up. There you go.
that. Okay, there we go. So let's say you wanted to load that specific study set. You would just click load set. I know that I have tons of these, and then it will pop up. So you can make as many sets as you want, or you can delete, which I definitely should delete like 90% of these. But yeah, that's how you add, save, edit, delete, load, whatever. You can delete all if you want to.
And if you want to start clean, it's remove all studies.
Yep.
And then you can go back to load study set depending on which one you want.
Yep, exactly. Any other questions?
Random question, but do you guys always use TOD to chart? You don't like trading view?
I do not use TradingView. No.
There are a few people in the group that do use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not as common. It's usually, if we're trying to chart, it's easier just to share something that people are familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it up so I can put the TTM in there.
Can you explain TTM Squeeze? Yeah, I can explain TTM Squeeze. So TTM Squeeze, when the red dots are on, I'm an idiot. Ignore that. The red dots mean the squeeze is on. Okay. That means the volatility is kicking in. Okay. But we don't know, really where it's going. Okay. It's just volatile. The price action. The green dots, the squeeze has fired. Okay. Either to the long side or short side. But TTM has fired. Fired means it's activated, right? The volatility is gone. We know which direction it's going. The light blue bars mean that the trend is up. Okay. The trend is up. Okay. So there's more bullish momentum. Okay. The dark blue bars mean that we're losing momentum. Bullish momentum. Okay. The red bars mean that there's more bearish momentum. Okay. More selling. Right. The trend is down. The yellow bars mean that we're reversing. Right. So the bearish momentum is decreasing, and we're becoming a little more bullish. Okay. Doesn't mean we're if it goes from red to yellow, doesn't mean you buy calls, because sometimes this could fake you out. Okay. Sometimes it can go from red to yellow back to red. Okay, and your contract will be killed. I use TTM on the daily, the 4-hour, and the weekly. So I will start and maybe 1 hour just to see the 1 hour time frame. but I will. So when I say in chat or on whatever on voice, TTM has fired long. Okay, that means the green dot is on, light blue bar has turned on, and that there's an indication that this stock is going to go long. Okay, but this is the one thing that I'm looking at. Okay, this is just one of the indicators I'm looking at. So once I know that TTM has fired long on the daily, well, let's check the weekly. Okay. Shit, I don't know where I think it was here. The weekly has also fired long. Okay, so the daily and the weekly has fired long. Okay. Now, this is not the only indicator I use. Now I'll have to check the moving averages, my resistance supports, the volume. And if everything aligns, I will enter that trade. So light blue bars means that there's more bullish momentum, okay? It has fired long with the green dots, right? The red dots mean TTM is on, okay? It's on, but it's just volatile. We haven't had a certain direction yet. The dark blue bars, we're losing bullish momentum, okay? The red bars is we're gaining a bearish momentum. The yellow bars means we are changing direction. Okay, so the bearish trend is decreasing. Great, cool. It's a good indicator to have, but don't solely rely on it. But it's a great indicator to have. I think it's a lot of people's favorites. No problem.
I might have missed it, but did you say what time frames?
Daily, weekly, and 4-hour.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's for anybody that wasn't aware.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, whoa. Nasdaq futures up 113 points. Any other questions? Concerns? Any insults you guys want to give me? Come on, spit it out.
You want to look at TTD?
Yeah, I can look at TTD.
Thank you. How do I pull up the chart like this one? Because for me, it shows a little different when I open the. Is that the Thinkorswim, or is that a different thing?
This is Thinkorswim. Give me a second. Let me. Oh God. Okay, so TTD daily. So right now, you see how the 21 has crossed the 8.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very bearish right now. Look at TTM, right? Bearish. But this could also mean, well, this is daily. So today, a lot of selling, and obviously with the market, what happened the last hour, a lot of selling. So let's see.
Would you drop this back to a 4-hour to get a better picture then?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. So
it's just not so consolidated. Is that basically what you're doing then?
Exactly. Okay. But you see how it's riding below the 8? I would not enter this until it goes above. And you see how the 8 and 21, it's on a downtrend. So right now it's still in a bearish formation. Okay. And with this volume indicator that we've given to you guys, look at all this selling. All this selling, right? Way above average. But it's lots of selling.
On the 4, is it a concern that it's starting to go under the 200 then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So to be honest with you, now if someone was building a position here If it goes above the 8 and if it holds above the 8, you can start a position, okay, to go long. But that 8 you're going to be riding as a support, okay? Crosses the 200, then you can start, adding your long position. The fact that it is now broken below the 200, it's not a great sign. So if you go 4-hour weekly, now weekly is a little different because weekly is actually a 3-year. But even then, I mean, the moving averages are still going on a downtrend. TTM is losing, bullish momentum.
I guess what my question would be on the time frames though for the
Mhm.
crossover, the 200 would be, what's the smallest time frame you use to use that as a major indicator?
1 year day.
1 year day?
Yep.
But you can still do it on the 4 just
You
to
can
see if that's the direction?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Can we look at LDS?
LDS?
Yeah.
Yeah. What indicators do you like to use when scalping? I don't scalp. Scalping is key levels, resistance support, ATR, and volume. Elkin, I think, went through this in the last class. But yeah, I do not scalp. If you guys want me to scalp one day, I will kill your guys' account. LDS? Oh, LVS.
Hey.
All right. So daily, yeah, riding above the 8 EMA. TTM it's going long, but hasn't necessarily fired. Let's check 4 hour. Let's see how this looks in the 4 hour too. 180 day 4 hour. 8 and 21 are right there. This is going to be a good setup, I think tomorrow. It's holding above this nice little trend line here. TTM fire, but I can't figure out which way, which makes sense because the 8 and 21 are so contracted, so close. Yeah, 60, yep, 60, 31. Yeah, break above, yeah. 60, 30, like around, yeah. Oh my God, what is going on here? Yeah, I mean, a break above 630-ish, that would be good to go long. Yeah, it looks good. And I think a stop if anyone went long 58.04. Yep. But yeah, Wasim, if you want to do scalping, Elkin's your guy. Of course. Of course. Short-term trades, see? You can use 4 hour too for stock. To adding a medium-sized position. I like 4 hour too. Like even this one. Say someone bought stock here. Tested the 200. Probably still held. No. It's riding it. Alrighty. I think that's the end of class. Test tomorrow, 8 a.m. Bring your Scantrons.
Just not going to show up.
Yeah, everyone's not going to. No one shows up to class. They just wait for the recording.
I was planning to be out tomorrow anyway.
No, it's okay.
Really sick
Of course you
tomorrow.
are. Yeah, my dog is sick. Of course,
My dog
guys.
ate my monitors.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, well, this is what last minute question.
How do you pull up the chart like this? Because I keep getting it like in the middle and it's small.
Are you on charts or are you on like flexible grid?
I don't know. I'm on like trade.thinkorswim.com.
Oh wait, no, this is the app. This is the Thinkorswim app, the desktop
Oh,
app. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, download the app.
All right, that makes sense. I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. Yeah. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, of course, no worries. The class is recorded. Awesome. I will post in the class recap section.
Sounds good.
All right. Yep, no worries. See you guys.
Night.
Take care, guys.